In this PowerPoint, we'll be talking about a disorder found in the movie As Good as It Gets. The main character, Melvin Udall, is a OCD person who is very cranky, sarcastic, intelligent, and a wealthy writer who is actually on his 66th book. And he likes to spend the majority of his time alone in his apartment because he doesn't like interacting with people, and he just likes to be alone. When he is with other people, he happens to be very rude. He has his specific daily routines, which we'll talk about later, and one thing that he ends up improving on is his care for his neighbor or his dog, because at first he doesn't like them, but the dog actually helps him get over some of his OCD behavior. So the psychological disorder that we have for him is obsessive compulsive disorder. OCD is a chronic, long-lasting disorder which is unreasonable thoughts and fears or obsessions that lead to repetitive behavior. It's persistent and it's ritualistic. So one of the symptoms that Melvin shows in the movie is that he repeatedly does things 5 times. So he likes to count. For instance, he'll open or lock and unlock his door 5 times, or he'll turn on his light switch 5 times. Another symptom that he shows is fear of contamination. One example for this is that he uses new soap bars each time he'll wash his hands. So he'll wash his hands one time with the soap bar, and whenever he's done, he'll throw it away. And then he'll get a new soap bar for the next time. Another way that this shows is when he goes to the cafe, which he goes to every single day. He will bring his own silverware because he feels like theirs is contaminated. When he's walking down the street, he also can't be touched by others, so he makes sure that he gets out of their way, or maneuvers around everyone that way, like he doesn't get touched at all. The missing symptom that we show, or that we don't see, is the aggressive or horrific thoughts about harming oneself or others. Although sometimes he can be aggressive in a way, it's just the way that he talks, and he doesn't want to actually harm someone. He just wants to make sure that things are done in a certain way, in the way that he likes it. So the treatment that we see in the film is him just going to see a therapist, but this actually doesn't work because he hasn't been in 2 years. So a better option would be psychotherapy, where he would go every so often, and the way that you could do it is exposure and response prevention. For this, it's a gradual exposure to the fear, or like for him, the contamination. So it would gradually help him cope with it. Another thing he could do is medications like Prozac or Zoloft, which are specifically for disorders like OCD. He could also go join a support group with other people that have the same problem and learn how they manage it, or just relaxation or meditation. The possible outcomes of this treatment plan would be a gradual decrease, or a decrease for the need of medications, a better quality of life once the obsessions are managed, and finally after that he'll be able to go about his daily activities in a normal way. So why is this appropriate? OCD just can't vanish within a day, and like people would understand, it's a gradual practice, and exposure is what's best. That's why he would use the psychotherapy that is in that treatment plan. The ethical concerns, however, would be he could end up getting dependent on drugs, depending on the dosage, or depending on how often he has to do it. Another concern would be more fear of the obsession than before whenever he does the exposure and response prevention therapy. It could add on to what he already has and make it actually worse. In the film, I believe it is accurate. Jack Nicholson makes it seem pretty real, although sometimes he doesn't always count whenever he does stuff, like when he opens the door for someone else. But it is a daily routine that one can't seem to lose, and just like Melvin, there has to be a specific order of how he goes about his day. So how would this influence other people? It makes us view it as a real problem because it actually is. People can't always help it, and it's after a while, it just becomes a part of you. It helps someone understand what people go through when they do have OCD, and it shows us the different types of obsessions or compulsions that one can have.